flashes.
I like the DJ.
Mr. Iconic and King
I really like the DJ.
Flashes, flashes. Going wild.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Flashes going wild through the crowd. I like the DJ style.
Alright.
Got my attention and I really wanna go all out.
Let me see you move.
Ain't no reason for me to lie. I gotta crush up on these vibes. I'm not a groupie or a lame. I don't even want the fame. I just love to hear them screams when they make the crowd count down.
3, 2, 1, let's have some fun. This how it's done. We dancing, we singing, we all getting drunk. Come on, let's go, let's get it.
What's up, guys? It's your girl, Mikhail Rose, and welcome to Rose Chronicles. Calm down. Welcome to Rose Chronicles, guys. Yes, we are here in the studio live at 5, and shout out to my boys, Lil Ron, his entire production team, Wildlife Productions, Mr. Iconics on the tracks, Richard in the background. Shout out to Kicks and Tricks, the Partition Podcast, and Chopping It Up with Lil Ron. Thank you so much for giving me a new home, and this is going to be an amazing show today, guys. So get ready. Now, today, guys, we're going to be talking about something that's going to make you get vulnerable. It's going to make you open up your eyes a little bit more than you normally would, because it's exactly what happened to me, guys. Today, we're going to be talking about quality over quantity. Again, quality over quantity is something that I don't think a lot of us get a chance to really think about. So let's get ready to dig into it. But before we do that, you know, as usual, we have to talk about our positive quote of today, guys. And today's positive quote is, one person can impact a room full of people faster than a room full of people can impact one person. So true. I'm going to bring that back for the people in the back. Again, today's positive quote of the day is, one person can impact a room full of people faster than a room full of people can impact one person. Yep. So let's get ready to get into this first segment, guys. Open your ears, open your hearts, because here we go. Quantity over quality. Quality over quantity. See how quick you can flip that stuff up? But let's get into it. So when you think of people in numbers, you think either big or small in numbers, but you never stop to think of the people who make up the numbers. It's super tricky when you think about it, because people will always be blown away by larger things, right? We like to see things bigger than actually looking at the quality of something, right? So let's take Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., for example. Now, he impacted the world, and even into this very day, he is still one of the most influential people to ever walk the face of this earth, right? Just one man. But let's get a little bit deeper. You ask yourself, why is this even important? Like, if the number is larger, then nothing else really matters, right? Wrong. Absolutely wrong. See, I'm glad you asked that, because that's how it's basically like common thinking it's basically common thinking in these days. And then just over the course of years, people have always been blown away by how much something costs, but not more so of the value of something that could be a little bit less expensive, right? In numbers, but more valuable, right? You go to a garage sale and you looking at all this stuff and you're like, oh man, it's only $1? Yeah, it's only $1, but you'll be surprised if you got that thing appraised. It could have more value than what it's been sold for. So let's get into it. Now, quantity is the total number of something, and quality is the value of something. It's not always good to have a lot of people around you after a while. Like, for example, When you have a lot of people around you and everybody's talking, everybody's supposed to be taking a test in the classroom, but everybody's talking, it's just like, now some people could be saying different answers, but you're trying to focus. The more people that are talking, the more you will become distracted. The less people that are talking, the less quiet, the lesser the volume, the more you can focus. So when you're looking at being in a room full of people, it's not always a great idea if you're all over the place, right? A lot of controversial situations happen when there's a lot of opinions. There's a lot of people saying a lot of different things, but there's no specific solution. Everybody got a whole bunch of opinions, but nobody has the solution, the answer, right? So where does the quality come in? The quality comes in when there's a little bit less people with a lot of opinions, when there's broken down from 50 people to maybe 5 people, 5 valuable people, 5 people that have quality. You're not just looking at the number to just have like a big group of people. Like, for example, when you're looking at like those like on stage, you know, and you got the rappers, like it used to be like 100 of them. Steve Harvey talked about this in one of the stand-up, one of the stand-ups, what was it? Kings of Comedy, thank you. It was Kings of Comedy, and he was like, everybody on the stage jumping, like it's like 50, 60 of them, but it's only one rapper that matters, right? It's like, what is happening? What's going on? The one person that matters is being overcrowded, overshadowed by all of this other chaos of just stuff, right? But this one person, the quality is in this one person. It's not in the numbers. Nobody's going to care about everybody else that's on stage. Who did we pay to come and see, right? So when you think about when you think about it from that standpoint, a few things actually should come into question, right? When you have a lot of people around you, what are they bringing to you? How do you break that down into who's valuable and who's not? Who's bringing the quality in my life over just bringing more numbers, more phone calls, even sometimes just unnecessary phone calls. Just, hey girl, what you doing? Oh, nothing. No quality. Just another person that has your number. Quality over quantity, guys. We're going to be talking about it a little bit more because we're going to get into it when we're talking about bringing people in, right? Not just being in the group and looking at the numbers. Who are we bringing to the table? Are we just looking at the numbers? Are we just trying to hit a number goal? Or are we really bringing people of quality to the table? We'll be right back. It's your girl, Mikhail Rose, Smooches and Roses.
I really like the DJ.
Flashes, flashes. Going wild.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Pressure has been applied.
Yeah,
Flashes.
I like the DJ.
Mr. Iconics and King Theory did
Really
it.
like the DJ.
Flashes, flashes.
All right, guys, we are back. Welcome back to Rose Chronicles. It's your girl, Mikhail Rose. Guys, look, it's about to get real up in here. We are talking about quality over quantity. Most people always go for the quantity over the quality. You know how that ends up. Let's get into this next segment, guys. So this next segment, I want to start off with different things that you can look at, you can highlight, right? And so number one, valuable people are irreplaceable. Valuable people are irreplaceable. People of quality they're irreplaceable because they bring something to you, right? Too many people can be a lot of distractions. If you didn't hear that in the first segment, listen. Too many people around you can be a lot of distractions. You know, everybody want to have like that clique of girls that you just make a whole bunch of memories with. But are they bringing any value to you while you're making these memories? Like, right? Quality people will always offer something more than expected of them. So true. This is so true. You know how people say, oh girl, you went over and beyond. Thank you. You did not have to do that. That's a person of quality. A lot of opinions will make a lot of delays. It's so true. You don't want to ask too many people about something that you're working on. You don't want to have too many people giving you, you know, their idea or their concept of what you should be doing. You don't want so many people getting involved in your relationship. You don't want too many opinions because they make delays. They can kick back a lot of stuff. And I'm going to tell you why that's very important in just a moment. Also, valuable people will always find solutions no matter what. Either they're going to want to sit down with you, or they're going to say, I'll get back with you on that, or they'll just call somebody who may have the solution, but they're always going to find a solution for your problem, for your people problem. Quality people, they find solutions. It's simple as that. I mean, you always. So we have a really cool friend, and I always have to say that you give props where it's due, and no matter how good a person is, there's always gonna be a bad apple somewhere around in the mix. We're gonna get to that in just a moment, guys. But listen. When the pandemic started, this is like true story, real story, vulnerable moment. Don't take it personal, like, you know, Monica, listen. But when the pandemic started, my husband and I, we began to prepare for the worst, that maybe, just maybe, we wouldn't have had enough people who really meant something to us that would be able to make our wedding. So, because we both come from large families, we all have our peeps, and we all wanted to have our peeps in the building. But they're pretty much in Detroit, Michigan. Some are in California. Like, they're just all scattered out all over the place. But with the pandemic being here, it made it so much more difficult, to bring in numbers of people that we genuinely wanted to be here. But the way we began to understand the quality of people were by the memories and the support from those who loved us individually and together, collectively. And I mean, like, when you think about that, that's pretty important, right? Because most people are like, oh, I remember we went to school together, blah, 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 blah. You know, oh, we played this and that and the other, but you ain't talked to the person in 30 years. That's not who I'm talking about. Right? You want to look at people who are supporting, who have supported, and who's like supportive, right? All the way around the board. So, to all my engaged people out there that's trying to get that list together, listen, remember, quality people over the quantity number of people that you have is very important. It's very, very, very important. And a lot of times that even goes just with titles, but we'll talk about that at another time. Listen, you want your day to be filled with love and joy, not questions and concerns about who is talking about your dress, if they like the food. No, you want to have quality people who are there to celebrate your love. And the reason I'm talking about this right now is because I remember me and my husband struggle when we were getting ready, to get married in the beginning of the pandemic, when they were like, there's like 0 gatherings. You can't have nobody, no more than two to three people if you get married. You can't go in the buildings. Then they started to open it up at like 25%, 50%, then it got to 75%, thank God, right? We found the right building at the right time. We were able to work with the numbers, but quality of people, the quality of people that we had meant so much more than just knowing we would have enough people there, right? And so here's something that I think is very important for especially my engaged people out there. Make sure you and your partner are always on the same page when people are coming around you and your loved ones, period. Imagine having 50 haters around you throwing rice at you versus 25 long life ride or dies with you that have been there, that was there when y'all had your little parties, that invited both of y'all to everything, that always looked for one and the other, never just saying hi as one. You know, you want to make sure that there's equal love with everybody that comes to your celebration. To my engaged people out there, because there's going to come a time where you're going to have to cut a lot of numbers, and you don't want to just be trying to meet a number. You want to go for who's there with you, who's there for y'all, who's been there for y'all, all y'all. So true. Quality over quantity, guys. That's what we're talking about. You know, even when you're looking at the church, and this can go pretty much anywhere in life, but even when you look at church, you know, you have that diehard 50 people out of 500. True story. You have those dedicated 50 givers that no matter what, they're going to give their tithes. They're going to be the reason that the church is staying afloat. Quality over quantity. It's true. So you want to be sure that the people that are around you, the people that are going to be around you, the people that you invite to the table, you want to make sure that these people are they're qualified and they have quality for you, for your best interest, for them, because everything matters when you're bringing people into your circle. So, you know, your best friend will always be there. Everyone has that one best friend that they can always call on, right? And your best friend should never, ever, ever give you any issues. I mean, yeah, you're going to have those bump head moments, but that person is very delicate to you. So this person should always be a person of value. That's the closest person to you, right? Outside of your blood relations, your best friend is the next closest thing to you that knows everything about you. This person has to be a person of what? Quality. Quality. Listen, it's so true, guys, because you don't want a person that you give your all into. You telling them all of your little hidden secrets, hubby or whoever pisses you off, and here you go giving them your all and they throwing it back in you. Your best friend is not supposed to be your headache. Your best friend is supposed to be a person of quality. That also means that your significant other should be a person of quality. It just should not just be a person that you've been with for a long time just because of the numbers. The number of years does not matter if it's been a number of years of hell, right? So quality over quantity. Are you getting me? I know you are. I love you too. So that brings me to this next quick story, guys. So I put an event together for my honey bunny boo boo. He hates when I call him that. But my goal was to fill up 10 seats. I had a goal to fill up 10 seats. And I wanted to have people of value for this specific celebration for my husband, because he's worked so hard building his craft over the course of years since he was like in diapers type deal. And you know, when you are building yourself and when you're finding yourself elevating, you kind of want to look around to see who's clapping for you. You want to look for those phone calls to say, hey, congratulations. You may not get them, but it's good to know when they're coming out. or when they're happening, because those are people who are celebrating you. So my goal was to make sure that people that were around my husband at that time, that any little thing that he did, they celebrated him because he's just great at what he does. And so my goal was to get 10 people to the table. And so that's what I did. Shortly after, I realized that the people that I brought to the table were definitely people of value. However, I also began to see that because my goal was to reach that 10-person goal, there was one seat that should have been empty because that person was not a person of quality within best interest. Came up later down the line. But what I learned from that was my goal and rush to push to get a certain number, it showed me that I did everything right. I looked at everybody of value. There was one person that was not there of value with the right heart. So my goal, what I learned from that, was to always go deep to who am I bringing to the table? Who are you inviting to the table? These are very important things when you're building yourself up, when you are elevated. You know how like you invite somebody to a get together and you tell them, don't bring nobody that I don't know. It's true. It is so true, because you never know who's coming to the table. You want to be in control of that. And in these days, it's very important, guys. Remember. It's very important to know that valuable people are irreplaceable. They're irreplaceable. They always have a solution. They don't bring a lot of problems. They don't bring problems at all. They always go over and beyond the expected of them. That is, listen, a person of quality will always find a solution. It will never be a question about that person or those people, right? You're always going to find yourself in a good place with people of quality. Always. Even in a sticky situation, if you have the right group of people around you, if you have literally the right group of people around you, you'll be able to fix a problem in no time. It's almost like getting locked up in one of those secret escape rooms, right? You know, if you just got a whole bunch of people in there that's just like do not care. Let's just wait until they realize that we've been in here for like almost an hour and a half. You have you may have two people that may be down there like really trying to get it, people that are trying to find a solution. They're going to get I remember we went to an escape room. And I kid you not, I'm not going to lie and say that I was like all involved. Whatever I could figure out, I did my best. But my husband and I want to say my father-in-law and my brother-in-law, they were in it. They were trying to figure it out. My mother-in-law, I want to say she had her calculator out. She was like trying to put numbers together. It was crazy. But one thing I know is that certain things are meant to be and certain things are not meant to be. What happens when you push yourself in situations and you're trying to get to a certain number, you can put yourself in a situation that you won't be able to get yourself out of because nobody even know how you ended up there. And that's trying to reach a certain number. That's trying to please a certain group of people. That's trying to have a certain amount of money. That's trying to look like you have a certain amount of money. That's trying to know, what is your quality? What are you bringing to the table? What are you bringing to people? What do people bring to you? You want to start cutting and edging out your life around that. That's what's important. Quality over quantity. True. Facts. With that being said, guys, I hope that this episode, I just hope that it opens you up, because the pandemic has really helped us all realize a lot of the things that we had in bundles, whether it was friends, whether it was co-workers, whether it was a job or jobs, whether it was whatever it was. The lesser things that we distracted ourselves with, the more we've been able to focus and see what's really valuable, what's really important. How many people do I really need to talk to a day? Like, think about it, right? You begin to really understand the importance of family. You begin to really, understand your partner and relationships, other relationships that are more important on building than just trying to have a whole bunch of relationships, right? So quantity is not ever going to outlast or outshine quality, ever. Think about that. It's very important to really focus on the people that you have around you. If they're people of substance and the people of value, that's who you want to have around you. Don't just look at the number of people around you. Look at the quality of people around you. I am Mikhail Rose, guys. You've been hanging out on Rose Chronicles, Smooches and Roses. I will see you on the next episode. Bye.
Let's go. Who's with me? 3, 2, 1. Let's have some fun. This how it's done. We dancing, we singing, we all getting drunk. Let's go. Let's get it. We
DJ
free.
getting it hype.
Who's with me? Let's live.
Keep dancing,
We free.
keep moving.
Let's go.
Come
Who's
on.
with me?